So in this session, we are going to learn how to connect remote Kubernetes cluster with Jenkins, or also you can say how to integrate remote Kubernetes cluster with Jenkins, right? So here, as you can see, this is my article, so we are going to follow this. So first of all, here you can see prerequisite, right? So here, first of all, we need two instances, right? Here you can see in my AWS, you can see here I have two instances, right? The first for EKS and the another for Jenkins, right? Okay. Now, firstly, the prerequisite is we need a two instance, and after that, here we need to install Jenkins as well as we need to create EKS cluster, right? So as you can see here, I have two instances, right? So here, first for EKS, right? So in EKS, I have created AWS EKS cluster, right? In this instance. And then the other one is EKS Jenkins, right? So that means Jenkins. And in that instance, I have already installed Jenkins. So as you can see here, here you can see I have successfully connected to my terminal, right? So that's for EKS and the another for Jenkins. So let's check. So if I enter EKS version, EKS CTL hyphen version. Sorry, EKS version, right? So you can see here, if I run the command EKS version, so you can see the version, right? That means you have successfully create AWS EKS, right? In that instance. And the another for Jenkins. Here I have installed Jenkins, right? So here if I run the command sudo systemctl status and your server name Jenkins, right? So as you can see the active, right? That means here in that instance I have installed Jenkins. Okay. So firstly remember this, we have two instances, first for EKS cluster and the another for Jenkins, right? So as you can see here, I have already installed Jenkins, right? So you can see the Jenkins dashboard here. You can see, right? So that's my Jenkins dashboard. Okay. Now let's check the next step to integrate remote Kubernetes cluster with Jenkins. Okay. Now let's check the third step. Now the third step is we need to install some plugins, right? So first of all go to your Jenkins server. Here we need to install some plugins. So which plugins? Kubernetes plugin. So first of all go to the Jenkins, then manage Jenkins. Then here in manage Jenkins you can see the options, right? So first of all say stream, tools and plugins. So we need to go to the plugins. And here click on available plugins and search for. So we need to install some plugins for Kubernetes. So here I am going to search Kubernetes. Okay. So here you can see we need three plugins. First for Kubernetes, then second for Kubernetes CLI, and third one for Kubernetes Credentials, right? You can see. So I am going to select these three and click on install. Okay, as you can see, success. Now it's pending. So wait for a few seconds. Okay, as you can see, it's also a success. Okay, now it's done, right? So go to the dashboard, and now let's take the next step, right? So we have successfully installed this plugins, right? It's Kubernetes, then Kubernetes Credential, and then Kubernetes CLI. Okay. Now the next step is we need to generate token in your Kubernetes cluster, right? That means our EKS instance, right? You can see in first step we need to generate token in your Kubernetes cluster, right? That means if I go to my terminal, I have two instances, right? First for EKS cluster and the another for Jenkins. So here we need to generate this token on our EKS cluster, right? You can see in your Kubernetes cluster. Okay. So now how to create? So first of all, create a service account using below command. So we need to create service account using below command on EKS cluster, right? So let's copy this command. So the command is like this: kubectl create service account Jenkins. And here you remember this, I'm going to create this service account on my EKS cluster, right? Not in Jenkins. Okay. So let's paste here. Now as you can see the service account Jenkins created. Okay, it's done. Now let's check the next step. Now the next step is we need to create role binding based on the permission needed by the application using below command. Okay, so let's create. So here I'm going to copy this from here to here. And let's paste here. Okay, as you can see the file Jenkins integration created. Okay, it's done. Now the next step is here extract service account token. Okay, now here how to extract, you can see the command to extract our service account, right? After run this command we will have our token, secret token, right? Here you can see token, right? So after that, after we will run this command we will have our token. So let's check. So let's enter this command to extract this account token. Okay, but as you can see there is no any token, right? We have successfully run this command, but as of now there is no any token. Why? Because here in this EKS CTL version, our version is 1.27 version, right? But here we need to, if we run this commands and if we create this file using below code, then our version is below 1.24, right? Or equals to, but our version is 1.27. So that's why we need a run this we need to run this below files. So the solution is here. If you have the version EKCTL version is 1.27, then the solution is here. Which solution? So we need to run these few commands to generate our token. Okay. Sometime if you run this command and your version is 1.27, then you will not have a, not generate any token, right? Then what should we do? So the solution is here. So we need to run these few commands, right? So first of all, let's create this file. Okay, secret Jenkins created, right? Now to create our secret, let's extract the token using below command. Now as you can see, our token successfully generated. You can see, right? So if your version is 1.27, then you will not have your token, right? So the solution is here. You need to run this few commands, right? So as you can see, our token is generated. Now let's open your notepad and copy your token for security. So let's copy our token from here to here, right? Okay, let's paste here. Okay, it's done. Now, it's done, right? We have successfully copied our, paste our, we have successfully generated our token. Now let's clear the screen first. Okay, now let's see the next step. Okay, now the next step is here, the fifth, right? The fifth step. Now the fifth step is add the token as a credentials in Jenkins, right? Right. So in previous step we have generated our token, right? So we need to add this token into this credential in Jenkins. So how to create, how to add? So can see the steps. So first of all, once you have your token generated in the previous step, we will add the token as a credential as follows, right? So first of all, we need to log into Jenkins, then click on manage Jenkins, and after that credentials, then click on global and then add credentials. Right. Then after that, under kind, let's scroll the drop down list and then choose secret text. And under secret text, copy your Kubernetes token that we have generated, right? And then enter the ID and description, right? So let's go to the Jenkins, then manage Jenkins, then go to the credentials here. Now go to the global, and now here as you can see there is no any credentials as of now. Now click on add credentials. And here we need to save the kind and select the secret text. Right. Now in secret enter your secret token that we have generated. Let's copy your token first and paste here. Okay. After that enter ID. So my ID will be secret token. Then if you want to add any description, then you can add, or if you don't want, then you can skip this. Okay, now click on create. Okay, so now you can see we have successfully created our credential. Our ID name is secret token, the name is secret token, and the kind is secret text. And description is blank. If you want, then you can add description. Okay. Now we have successfully created our credentials. Okay, that's done. Now let's go to the next step. Now the next step is add new cloud. Cloud, right? So we need to add new cloud here. So how to add? So let's check. We need to add new cloud. So in this step, we are going to add cloud. So go to the manage Jenkins, then click on cloud and then add cloud and enter your cloud name and select Kubernetes action and build. Right? Okay. So let's add a cloud. So go to the Jenkins, go to the dashboard. First we go to the dashboard and now how to add a cloud. So go to the manage Jenkins. Then go to the clouds. You can see add, remove, and configure cloud instances to provision agents on demand. Right. And click on new cloud. Okay. So enter your cloud name. So here I'm going to enter my cluster name. Right. So my cluster name is Sample. So that's why here I'm going to use this name. Sample. Now select Kubernetes. Click on create. Then enter this, click on this Kubernetes cloud details. We need to fill some details here. Okay. So first of all, it will ask the Kubernetes URL. So which URL we need to enter here? So go to the AWS or EKS cluster, right? So that's our AWS EKS cluster. So here First of all, go to your config file, right? Kubeconfig file. When we install our AWS EKS, then there is a kubeconfig file, right? Automatically generated. So we need to open this kubeconfig file. So how to open? So go to the kubeconfig file. First of all, go to the cube folder. Then if I run the ls command, as you can see, there is two files, config files and the other one. So I'm going to enter cat and config file. Okay. Now here, that's our config file here, right? So here, which is our Kubernetes URL. So as you can see, the server, right? So that's our Kubernetes URL. So I'm going to copy this server URL and enter in this Kubernetes URL. Okay. Now the next page, it will ask Kubernetes server certificate key. So how to generate Kubernetes server certificate key? As you can see here, in this step I have mentioned here Kubernetes URI. So open your config file and enter the server URL. Right. Then Kubernetes server certificate key. So you need to generate this key using this below command. Right. You can see the command here. So how to generate? So first of all, go to your kubeconfig file. So here is our kubeconfig file, right? And here you can see the cluster, right? So you need to copy this certificate from here to here, right? So let's copy and paste in this notepad. Okay, and let's save the, okay, let's paste here. And after that, here let's enter the command to generate our certificate, right? So here is the command. So I'm going to copy this command and enter here. And after that, here, as you can see here, content of the certificate authority data entry of my kubeconfig file, right? So here we need to enter this file from here to here. And remember one thing, this file we need to one line, we need to enter one line. Okay, so that's why here I'm going to copy from here, and after that paste on notepad, and after that I'm going to copy from notepad. Okay, because we need to enter this certificate file in one line. So that's why here I'm going to copy it and paste here. Remember one thing, we need to enter this in one line, right? Okay. Now let's check for once it's correct or not. Okay, it's correct. Right. Now let's enter. So it will ask invalid input. So wait for a few seconds. Okay, sorry. As you can see here, I have copied this certificate authority data, right? So we need to cut this. So that's what they give us error, right? Okay. For seconds. So first of all, I'm going to remove from here which certificate authority data. So we need to copy from here. Where? Here. Here. From here to here. Ah, right. Okay. So let's copy the command and let's remove this line and let's paste from here to here. Right. Right. Okay. Let's enter. Okay, so as you can see, our certificate, CA certificate, right? You can see begin certificate and end certificate. So let's copy from here begin certificate to end certificate, and let's go to the Jenkins and paste here. Alright, begin to end. Okay. Now after that, next is namespace. As you can see here, I mentioned Kubernetes default name, Kubernetes namespace is default. So that's why here I'm going to enter default. After that, it will ask credentials. So here, in our previous session, we have add credentials, right? For secret token. So I'm going to add this secret token here. Okay. Now, okay. So now keep as it is, right? Then click on here, as you can see. Okay, after add our credential, you can see the test connection. So let's test our connection first. Okay. So if I click on this test connection, so you can see the message connected to Kubernetes, and you can see the version 1.27, right? EKS. Okay, so we have successfully connect to our Kubernetes, right? One you can see the message. Now click on save. Okay. So after that, you can see if I go to the cloud, you can see our cloud name is sample, right? If you want to update your cloud, then you can update from here also. Now let's go to the dashboard. Now our next step is let's use the pipeline syntax to generate Kubernetes CLI configuration, right? So we need to generate our pipeline syntax. So how to generate our pipeline syntax? You can see here we are going to use pipeline syntax tool that comes with Jenkins to generate a configuration, and we will use to connect to our Kubernetes cluster, right? So first let's create a new pipeline, then log into Jenkins, right? Then click on new item and then enter the name of your project and select pipeline. So as you can see my image, right? So let's create our pipeline syntax. So go to the Jenkins and click on new item. Then enter your pipeline name, right? So our pipeline name will be Kubernetes and select pipeline, right? Click on OK. Okay. So as you can see, our pipeline successfully created. Okay. Now the next step is how to generate a pipeline syntax. So let's scroll down, and as you can see here, pipeline, right? Then advanced project option, pipeline. After that, you can see pipeline. Okay. Now here, pipeline script, right? So here we need to create our pipeline syntax. So if I scroll down, you can see pipeline syntax. So click on this pipeline syntax, and you can see it will open the new web, right? New tab. Okay. So here's our pipeline and here's our pipeline syntax. Okay. After that, you can see first of all overview, and you can see the options, right? You know where you can see this script generator will help you learn the pipeline script code which can be used to define various steps, and pick a step you are interested in from the list and configuration and click and generate pipeline script. Okay. So you can see. So first of all, here we need to select this sample step here, right? So if I click on the scroll down, you can see the multiple options here. So we need to select this one. So here, let's scroll down, and here we need to select this with Kubernetes credential, configure Kubernetes CLI, kubectl with multiple credentials. We need to select this. Okay. And after that, let's scroll down. After that, here select your credentials, secret token, right? And for that, keep as it is. Okay. If you want to enter, then enter your cluster name, example, then namespace is default, right? Kubernetes API point, then enter your server URL if you want to add, right? CH certificate we have successfully added in our cloud, right? So that's why I'm going to not enter. Okay. Okay. Now let's click on generate pipeline script. Okay. So as you can see, this is our pipeline script. You can see with kube credential, then kube credentials, CS certificate, cluster name, sample, right? Then context name, then credential, ID, secret token, then namespace, right? Default, and then server URL, right? So we will have the script like this, right? So let's copy your script from here and go to the pipeline. And after that, here enter your script that we have generated and enter the data. So you can see my pipeline is like this. You can see here, right? So okay, so you can see the scroll down and click on generate pipeline and you will see the output like this, right? So we will have the output like this. Now the next step is create your pipeline. Okay, so we have successfully created our pipeline. Now next is this is my pipeline, right? So our block is here that we have generated, right? Kube credentials, CS certificate, cluster name, then context name, credential ID, then namespace, right? And then server URL and so on, right? So I'm going to copy my pipeline. So we need to generate this and copy the block. Okay. So I'm going to some changes here. Cluster name is sample. Namespace default, secret URL. So we need to enter the secret URL, server URL here, right? Okay. Now let's understand our pipeline, right? First. So first of all, you can see our pipeline, right? That's the format. Then open the curly brace and agent A is stage. In stage, I have mentioned integrate remote Kubernetes with Jenkins. And step, I have added this script that we have successfully generated, right? Then in sh you can see I'm going to use this call command, right, to kubectl, then chmod. So I'm going to give this permission to my kubectl, right, and get nodes. So see here I'm going to print this get nodes, right? Okay, so that's my pipeline. Simple to print kubectl get nodes. So here, after that, after run this our successfully run our pipeline, then we will have the output our nodes, right? It will print our nodes. So let's click on apply and let's check our pipeline. So go to the dashboard and now let's build our pipeline, right? And let's check. So as you can see, it's running. So you can see it's in progress. So standard timing. So wait for a few seconds. Okay, as you can see, it succeed. Right? You can see it succeed. So go to the console output to check. So here is our console output here. Right? So let's check our console output. So you can see our first is permission to our kubectl, and after that it will print this kubectl get node. So you can see our two nodes here, and the status is ready and the age and the version, uh, right? If you remember, I have mentioned here my Kubernetes version is 1.27, right? So you can see our two clusters here, right? You can see, and our pipeline finished success, right? So we have successfully print this node. That means you have successfully run this command kubectl get nodes, right? So it's done, right? So in this session we have learned how to integrate remote Kubernetes cluster with Jenkins, or you can also say how to connect remote Kubernetes cluster with Jenkins. So thank you for watching.